OpenAI just can't stop. The company has announced another massive infrastructure deal, and this time it's with Broadcom and is all about building their own chips. Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. We kick off today with another big infrastructure deal from OpenAI. The company has signed a multi-year partnership with Broadcom. The two companies will collaborate on custom silicon and networking equipment and plan to deploy 10 gigawatts of data center capacity powered by the Broadcom hardware. The goal is to start deploying server racks in the second half of next year. Now, the deal is non-binding, allowing OpenAI to walk away if things go pear-shaped, but OpenAI said that their pursuit of custom silicon would allow them to embed what they've learned, quote, directly into the hardware, unlocking new levels of capability and intelligence. In a podcast released alongside the announcement, OpenAI President Greg Brockman explained that this literally means that GPT-5 is making improvements to the chip design that will improve the performance of the next model. He said, "We're at the point now where I don't think any of the optimizations we have are ones that human designers could have come up with. Usually our experts take a look at it later and say, yeah, this was on my list, but it was a list of 20 things that would have taken them another month to get to." Broadcom benefited from the OpenAI bump, with stock rocketing by 12% in overnight trading. Now, for those keeping track, that means that OpenAI has made around 26 gigawatts worth of chip deals over the past month between NVIDIA, AMD, and now Broadcom. And while it's difficult to get an accurate read on exactly how large the supply of AI data centers is currently, estimates range from 30 to 60 gigawatts of total data center capacity in the US, with between 10 and 20% of that representing AI workflows. Basically, regardless of which estimate you go with, OpenAI is looking to more than double the supply of AI data centers in the US all by themselves over the next 5 years. Unsurprisingly, what you think about this deal is pretty much informed by your pre-existing opinions of OpenAI's deal-making frenzy. Just like we have the Elon Rorschach test, where anything that his enterprises announce is really just a referendum on what people think about him, that's increasingly what we're getting with OpenAI as well. Some see a generational company scaling up their already huge bet. In that same podcast released alongside the announcement, Sam Altman explained the reason for wanting to make their own chips, saying, "By being able to optimize across the entire stack, we can get huge efficiency gains, and that will lead to much better performance, faster models, and cheaper models." Broadcom CEO Hock Tan put it simply, "If you do your own chips, you control your destiny." Trader Space Pixel noted that this isn't just a big deal for OpenAI, but ratchets up the competition in general. They wrote, "Game theory would suggest Meta, xAI, Google, and Anthropic are going to have to double their compute due to the last week of OpenAI deals. AMD, NVIDIA, and Broadcom are going to have some serious revenue growth over the next 5 years. Still, a far larger category of people were adding a few additional spokes to their circular investment map. In addition to the Broadcom announcement, OpenAI also announced a multi-billion-dollar deal with chipmaker ARM to produce CPUs for servers powered by the custom silicon. ARM is 90% powered by SoftBank, which is also involved in many of these big OpenAI deals. Last week, Bloomberg reported that SoftBank was seeking a $5 billion loan collateralized by their ARM stock, and the OpenAI bump pushed that stock up by 11%, giving SoftBank a lot more room to borrow. Interestingly, the market wasn't all that enthusiastic about SoftBank given these arrangements. The stock was actually down by more than 6% during the Tuesday session in Tokyo. The one interesting thing that I think is kind of missing from the chatter is the possibility that these companies are all right and we actually are going to need this much compute. As OpenAI's Rune put it in a viral tweet, "Not enough people are emotionally prepared for if it's not a bubble." Now, staying on the chip theme for just a minute, more than half of AWS's AI services are now running on their own custom chips. Amazon has been steadily building out an ecosystem of their own chips to power their AI ambitions. Late last year, they released Trainium 2, which is the latest version of their AI accelerator. Trainium 3 was intended to be released towards the end of this year, but has hit delays with the design of liquid cooling systems. Trainium 2 was praised as a significant course correction for Amazon after the lackluster first edition. The chips aren't up to par with NVIDIA's leading chips, but they come with a significant reduction in operating costs. Trainium 2 handles both training and inference and was designed as a natural fit for Anthropic's heavy reliance on reinforcement learning. Amazon's compute deal with Anthropic has allowed them to pursue this aggressive build-out, safe in the knowledge that they have a large anchor customer. Speaking with The Information, AWS Chief Marketing Officer Julia White said, "Our long-term investment in our own chips, with Trainium being the most current example, is really a wonderful advantage for us from a price-performance perspective." Now, for the second part of this headlines episode, we have a bunch of product or feature announcements. The first comes from N8N, who has introduced a new workflow builder that allows users to build agents using natural language prompts. Oh my God, thank goodness. A long-awaited feature that is finally here. Since the workflow design tool started catching on earlier this year, the interface has been a huge blocker. For non-technical folks, node-based agent building can be a steep learning curve. And even for those who are somewhat technical, it still can be a pain. The new agent builder lays out a proposed workflow based on user prompts, presented as a node system. Users can then tweak the workflow with the benefit of AI doing the heavy lifting. Writes Ozer Akhtar, and it then delivered what everyone was expecting from OpenAI's agent builder. Next up, we have Google, who are integrating Nano Banana absolutely everywhere. The image generation model will be added to Google Search, Notebook LM, and soon to the Photos app. In Search, Nano Banana will be paired with the Lens tool to allow quick photo editing. It wasn't clear from the demo how it integrates with an actual search, but it's another pathway for users to get quick access to image editing. In Notebook LM, Nano Banana will now drive the Video Overviews feature, enabling 6 new visual styles for the generated slideshows. Google hasn't yet provided details about the forthcoming integration with the Photos app, but it's a pretty safe bet that we're getting embedded AI photo editing. Generally, the strategy is pretty clear, and it is to get Nano Banana's powerful editing features easily available everywhere they possibly could be useful within the Google ecosystem. Lastly today, Microsoft has announced their first in-house image generator. The text-to-image model called MAI Image 1 is part of an initiative kicked off in August to build that company's internal capacity for model training. The first batch included a small chatbot model and an accompanying voice model. Microsoft's AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman said at the time, "It's critical that a company of our size is able to be self-sufficient in AI if we choose to." Now, so far, nothing Microsoft has produced is state-of-the-art, but MAI Image 1 seems relatively good for a first attempt. Microsoft said they worked with human artists to avoid repetitive or generically stylized outputs. They claim the model excels at photorealistic images, including features like lighting and landscapes. Speed is also a big factor, with Microsoft claiming faster generation than, quote, larger, slower models. While benchmarking image models is inherently subjective, Microsoft has managed to rank 9th on LM Arena in preliminary testing. GPT-1, which is the model that drives OpenAI's image gen, as well as Nano Banana, are each ranked ahead of the Microsoft model. Whatever the specifics of this model, it is part of a larger trajectory of Microsoft's independence, which matters greatly, especially in the context of what we're talking about in our main episode, which is the coming AI platform war all about context. So with that, we'll close the headlines and move to the main episode.